You're tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
They tweeted it.
Hey. Oh, turn that up. Turn it up. Hey.
Oh.
Hey.
Oh. Oh.
Hey. Oh, get it. Get it. Get it.
Oh, I
Get it.
Like me when they heard me with it.
Hey. Turn up. What's up, everybody?
One time.
You know what it is. It is the one and only rap game after show. We turned up as always. In the building. I'm so glad to be back. I'm glad my voice is back. Back in effect, man. I was here, but I wasn't. But I'm just so glad that I can really do what I do with this show. Again, I'm your host, Lem Gonsalves. You can find me always at The Poet Saint. And of course, next to me, my fellow birthday boy in crime,
That's right.
Mr. Nino Llanera.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Nino Llanera. You can catch me on Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff, Snapchat. Hit me up. And I'm so happy to be here. Happy birthday to you, man.
Yeah.
2 birthdays.
I know, birthdays. That's how we go down. And of course, you know, JJ the Talented, a.k.a. Josh Johnson.
What it is, what it do. What's up, everybody? My name is Joshua Johnson. Find me on Twitter and Instagram at JJ the Talented. Yeah.
And all the way holding down the far east corner, you know what it is.
Yes, your man.
Mr. Be Your Own Dad yourself, Jimmy V.
Thank you. It's your man, Jimmy V. Big shout out to Lem and Nino. Happy birthday to both of them. You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Be Your Own Dad. It's going to be a great show.
It's going to be a great show.
I'm excited.
You know why it's going to be a great show? First of all, it's the 4th episode, so we halfway through.
That's right.
Series, right? 8-episode series. But also, we have some special guests in the building via Skype. Who's here? Ladies and gentlemen, drum roll, please. We have none other than not one but two. Y'all give it up for Mama Peach and Supa Peach.
Girl, Supa Peach, and I got my Mama Peach.
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing over there? Y'all in the ATL, right? How's it going down over there?
Yeah, you know what it is.
Yeah.
And yeah, we feeling great.
Just here relaxing on the couch, just enjoying life.
Yeah.
Enjoying life.
I love it.
Okay.
I love it. So, my first question. First of all, congratulations, Supa Peach, on being number one this episode.
Thank you.
Turn up.
How many times is that now?
Yeah, that's twice.
That's twice.
That's
Twice.
That's 50% of the time. You can't be mad at that. Now, tell me, because in the episode, we're going to just dive right into it. In the episode, towards the end, when you were announced as number one, JD was kind of talking to you, and he's like, you seem a little, like not connected, you don't seem excited. Yeah. Like, I want to know from you, your personal perspective, how was that feeling? Were you really, because I know, we all know you're motivated. We all know that you don't have a problem. There's no issue with you being introverted. You know what I'm saying? You have a lot of self-confidence, and it comes over. And it comes over obviously very good. But in that moment, you really did seem like, like you were just like, whatever, it's number one. Tell me how you felt.
When he told me that I was number one, I always work like I'm always losing, so I was very happy about it. But then like the negativity that was in the house, it kind of like just was like cause like when he called it out, well they didn't show on TV. When he called it out, they were just like okay. But I was happy, to be honest. I'm happy to be number one.
Got it. So I would say, and I think you kind of touched on it a little bit. I think when you were talking to your sister, and you did mention about the vibe of the house, you being number one, it didn't seem like people were celebrating you, and it seemed like that's been a common theme. Because when you first came out, first episode, you were guns blazing. You know what I'm saying? You came out raw, hard. You came out like you had something to do. You wanted to win. So has that been the vibe of the house with everybody kind of this whole time leading up to this point?
Yeah.
Through the whole house, it feel like everybody always had a target on my back since that first episode. But I mean, that's what they're supposed to do.
Oh,
That's
okay.
right.
That's what they supposed to do.
Look at
You're
that.
trying
Yeah,
to win.
she
That's
knows,
what
right.
we're doing,
That's-
I guess
that's-
so.
she
We
knows.
just pretty much stay to ourselves.
Okay.
Yo,
Okay.
Peach, I gotta tell you, from last week's episode to this week's episode, it looks like there was a big growth in just that 1 week of what happened last week. I'm really impressed. I really gotta say, I'm really impressed.
Thank you.
And I'm loving your work ethic. When you said I'm always working like, I'm losing, that just goes to show you how hard you want it. How
Yeah.
in the house between that week from the week before with the stylist and now, what changed? What was there that changed?
I wanted it always.
I always wanted it. What she said? What changed? Nothing really changed. Like what I can say that like certain stuff. Like I think like certain stuff that happened during the show. Like that wasn't me. Like this is Supa Peach. Supa Peach is on to me right now.
Yeah.
Like during the episode where they say, of course I was moving, of course, and I was praying in my head, but which they had left us and got on break, and then they put it in the scene, which I wasn't even rapping when she was talking, but I mean,
See, I told you.
Editing.
I tried to tell him, Supa Peach. I tried to tell him it was all editing. You weren't really doing
Crazy
that.
out here in
Yeah,
these streets.
They edited so my girl was looking crazy like that. I know she
That's
wasn't
cold.
doing that.
Well, see,
Right.
see, Supa Peach, I'm gonna tell you right now.
I'm mad
She
at
was
that.
right.
We always like to talk to the cast members of these shows that we cover because we know that editing doesn't always work to your favor.
Not always.
So not always.
But
So
she was praying to
Yeah.
herself. Like,
She was praying,
But
okay.
all that extra dancing and all that.
that wasn't happening
That wasn't-
at the
yeah.
time. she was talking.
Defamation of
Because
character.
I'm always praying too. I'm always like, ooh.
Jesus, I
Makes
bind
you
Satan.
nervous.
Number one.
You gotta stay prayed up.
Hey,
Lord.
hey, praise him. No, I
Have to
completely
stay prayed
understand.
up.
Peach,
I completely understand.
earlier you said there was some negativity within the house. Speak on that quick. Like, what's
like
what's a few things that
negativity
we
in the
don't
house,
see?
they always got something to say about Peach. It's always about Peach, 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 Peach do this, Peach do that. But I mean, it never get to me. But like when I win, it's just like I don't know, like the vibe in the house just changed. But I mean, that's what they do when they know you the best. So
Right.
That's
Yeah.
real.
Well, listen, Peach. Let me ask you this then. Do you think that all the vibe, the negative vibe that you got from your cast members, was it because maybe they feared that you were number one? And then the second question is, who was your biggest competition in the house?
I think they feel like I'm a threat. Well, obviously I'm a threat because that's how they act. But I mean, who my biggest competition in the house? Peaches. Me.
There we go. Okay. Okay.
Can we take a commercial break?
I feel like JD in that first episode where he was like, "Who is this girl?"
Where she
Right.
came from.
Right. All right. So, Mama Peach, I want to talk to you for a second. Of course, I got a chance to connect with you, and you are really like a Mama Peach. Like I can see, you being protective of your daughter, but you also
Yeah,
want
we
her to
have a
be
close
successful.
family. My family
Exactly.
and I are close.
Awesome. I do want
there
to
you
kind of
go.
go back to the previous. Now we talked about editing, and we know how editing works, and it doesn't always work to your favor. I kind of want to bring up the situation when you had to shop for the clothes.
Yeah.
And of course, you know where I'm getting at with the whole money
Yeah.
situation and the extra money. I just want you to clear the air right now.
Yes. clear
Did
that,
you
Mama.
put in extra
Well,
money?
you still got guys. It's TV. Come on.
Yeah.
We got the ratings pumping.
Right.
Guys, I mean, hey, it is what it is. But to tell you the truth, Nikki was the one that gave me money. And she
No,
you talking about Nico's
That
mom.
was
So you talking-
Nico's mom.
outfit at all.
That wasn't for me. That was
wasn't
for my
even
mom.
for her.
So my mom didn't
Hold
go.
on. Yeah, it's my turn.
Yeah. Go ahead. Talk about
That wasn't even for her. If you pay attention at the register, they had a black shirt.
Uh-huh.
Did anyone pay attention? They had the cash register lady was holding up a black shirt. She
I
didn't
do
even wear
remember
a black
that.
shirt.
I do remember that.
Hey.
And look at the money on the counter. How much money was on the counter?
Like,
$2.30.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
It was
Yeah.
some-
So what you're saying? So let me just get this right.
I feel
'Cause I know,
bamboozled.
I know,
Oh my
I know
gosh.
how TV works. We've done this a long time. So
I
basic-
had fun. Shout
yeah.
out to the editors. Shout out to Lifetime.
Shout out to 'em.
JD.
Shout out
We
to 'em.
really
There
we
love
go.
you guys.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
JD and everybody.
Right.
We do.
But bottom line is, it wasn't anything. When she asked you about it, you told the truth, and of course they spun it to
course.
where it would make for some good TV. And honestly, and if that's the case, I will say that if that's what went on, and I believe you, then shout out to you guys for helping the show.
Right.
Because
I mean, pay attention. All
Yeah.
you have to do is do the math.
Mm-hmm.
How much money was on the counter?
Like $2 and something.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah,
it.
we wind back.
Yeah.
I need to get hired as a movie critter.
Well, look,
But the
seemed
fans are awesome. The fans are awesome.
Right.
They actually are. They the ones saying, "Mama Peach, I saw $2 on the counter. Why is
Really?
it not $30-something on the counter?"
Right.
well,
And I had totally two different receipts. I mean, extra. Really, come on. Nikki, the one gave and turned around and snitched. So it's whatever.
Mama Peach.
They are, but the thing is, we never snitch on them.
Right.
We never do.
Right.
And
And I'm
it's what
sure
it is. We were just there to eat.
Right,
You know.
and I'll say this before I let my man JJ talk. I remember, I know that a lot of stuff goes on behind the scenes that don't make to air. And the things that make it to air are the things that they want you to see to make for good TV. So I'm sure there's other stuff that went on, but it just didn't make to air. And like you say, you didn't snitch on them. This is
Of
just the
course
stuff
not.
this is just the stuff that came to light and added to the show and made for a good show. So
Exactly.
So obviously
We had a great time.
Absolutely. And I'm glad that you're on the show. I'll put it like
Oh
that.
yeah, we had an awesome time. Actually, we great people. We funny. We hilarious. We,
Yeah.
we just don't trust nobody.
Yeah.
You know,
Which,
it's a snaky world. There's so much
Sandy.
snakes. I need to really mow the grass, but I didn't.
Yeah.
It is what it is. You know.
Yeah, for sure. Go ahead, JJ.
Not to beat a dead horse, but it seemed like, from what I noticed from the get go, from the beginning of the season, it seems like they always painted you in some kind of negative light with
Of
the
course,
with
of
all
course.
the written lyrics and the paying too much money, and then the
Of course.
talking
I
during
mean,
the
you know
awards
what? When they
or
cannot,
the rankings.
that's the crazy thing. Like when they can't beat you, they either join you or they talk about you. They're gonna figure it out, and
Right.
they try to figure us out, and they just couldn't.
Right.
So I
right.
mean, I enjoyed that, trying to figure us out, and we actually sweethearts. People that's been riding with us for 3 years, they should know we write. I have a 5 Stars Entertainment writing team. We all write as a family.
Oh, wow.
Me and my 5 kids. It's called 5 Stars Entertainment Writing Team. Like JD
Oh,
has
dope.
the Dream Team.
Okay,
Peachy is a part of the writing team. You see, when they sent her back out, they thought she
Right.
couldn't do it. Really, come on,
Right.
guys. She came from a family of talent.
Mm.
I'm a writer.
Yeah.
All the kids, everybody. That's
And-
what we do.
and
We
then-
talented.
That's how you know it's fake, because while I look at the camera, who don't know how to cheat if I was
If
cheating?
you're really gonna cheat, you look at one of the guys said, she looked dead at the camera. I forgot
Right.
which one of you guys said that.
Uh-huh.
Which one of you
I
guys
don't
said
know.
last
I
week?
remember. I don't
Looking
know.
at the camera. The camera was
Yeah.
right there.
I don't remember, but good thing
Yeah,
is
might have been
you
me.
guys
I
are
don't
taking
know.
it in such a positive light.
Right.
This is
Yeah,
more
we
shine
did.
on
We had
y'all.
a great
Yeah.
You know what I
time,
mean?
And the opportunity that it gave us, oh God, we blessed. We actually
Wonderful.
blessed.
That's awesome.
Mama Peach, you said you guys come from a Caribbean background.
Oh yeah, we're
yeah.
from the Virgin
Virgin
Islands / Hispanic. So
Okay,
our
okay.
culture, we
Latino.
have a little bit of
Latino.
turn up, turn up.
Okay, so shout out
we
to
have a
y'all.
lot of
Okay.
we have a lot of different cultures in our background, stuff like that, and Venezuela, a little bit of everything. And actually, I enjoyed the pants. I mean, she enjoys the pants. We
yeah.
dress like twins all the time.
Yeah.
And I want to say shout out to Lifetime and Miss April, because the good thing, we done sent off like at least about how much? About 250
Yeah, about 250
pans out
from
to the
DM.
fans.
Oh, no
But
way.
it benefit me because I'm getting shows in St.
Oh,
Thomas,
yeah.
St. Kicks, because they call me
Okay.
Champagne. So
Yeah.
really?
I feel
That's
like
love. There you
I
go.
get to do what I do.
What they're
Wow.
saying is it was not age appropriate for having her stomach out.
Uh-huh.
No, they said yeah.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
she put
talking
me on
about,
the shirt with my stomach out, but she said she said the pants wasn't.
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, to each his own,
Definitely.
But the good thing, whatever Peachy or Rocket, she feels good, and they looking at it as cocky, but it's confident. That's just
I'm
our
not
culture.
cocky, I'm
We're
confident.
confident.
Whatever
Okay.
I put on.
And I think,
And that was cute
yeah.
too, but the fans are saying, no, Peach, your stomach out. But
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Peachy likes her stomach out, so she was like, I like that too. So it was okay.
Whatever works. So bottom line is, obviously, we're in the 4th episode. Peach won twice. I mean, it speaks for itself, right?
The
Because-
focus group won't lie.
Exactly.
The
It
focus group
speaks
tells
for-
the truth.
speaks
and
for
kids
itself.
always tell the truth.
But
Absolutely.
but they had more positive stuff, and they had a lot of extra stuff they didn't even show.
Oh
Of course,
yeah, they
of
had
course.
so much good things to say about Peach in the focus group. And one thing I do want to say, I don't care what you do in life, kids gonna tell you the truth. The focus group,
Sure.
number one for Peach all day. You might can do a whole lot of things or whatever you want to do. I don't care what edit or whatever. When it come around to real talent, she killed it every time.
Boom.
Peach. You killed those dance moves though.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
saw you getting
the
left and
rap-
right.
We
So
still gotta
good.
get into this
Oh
episode.
my gosh.
Yeah. Well,
She
before,
Yeah,
Go
anything
for
when
it,
it comes
though.
around to
Yeah.
talent, you can't get on that.
Awesome.
You can get on something else, but not that.
Yeah. So before we let you go, I just want to give you the opportunity, Mama Peach and Supa Peach. I know you talked about your family business, and if there's anything else that you want to, shout out to the fans. I know it sounds like you have some really, really hardcore fans.
Oh
that
yeah,
really,
shout
really
out
love-
to Super Nation. I love y'all. Thanks for the support. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at _Supa Peach, SUPAPEACH. You
Word.
can also follow her on Instagram at _Mama Peach.
Word.
Yeah, that's me.
Oh yeah, and shout out to my sister too. 'cause that's-
Yeah, shout out to your
Yeah,
sister.
right. Here, London, yeah.
So I told
But
Mama.
She does. She does. I mean, she's such a great help.
I know.
I
So
couldn't do it without her. Both
I
of
know
us
she-
together really make Supa Peach, and we do it as a family. I have 5 kids, and we do it as a big family.
Right.
And I'm
All
telling
right.
you, without them, I couldn't do it. I really say thanks a lot.
That's love.
My
That's
family.
awesome. I love
Thanks
that.
a lot, Super Nation. We love you. We couldn't do it without them.
Word.
They're the ones saying, Super Peach, don't worry about
Yeah,
that.
Super
We
Nation
know
is
that's
strong.
slice and
Yeah.
dice. Super
Yeah.
Peach, don't worry about that. We love you. Super
That's
Peach, Super Peach.
Right.
So we want to say thank you so much. And you got that emoji.
Oh yeah, my new emoji's coming out February.
I think no,
What?
it should be in March or April.
Yeah,
Super
March
Peach
something.
emojis.
What?
And she just dropped her new
Oh yeah, video.
video.
We
Do what we want.
Wow.
It's on
You
YouTube.
sure do.
Check it out, guys.
Okay, we absolutely will. I want to thank you, Mama Peach, Super Peach, for joining the show. We appreciate it. We're going to get into this discussion, so keep tuning in. And we got to make sure that we run it back because I told you we want to have Precious Peach on the show too. I know she's
Oh,
working.
yeah.
We
She
want
at
to have her
work
on the
right now.
show.
That's why
I
she
know.
couldn't make it.
I know. And we're very devastated about that.
We have a few admirers.
Right. So we want to definitely run it back. So we're gonna hit you. I'm gonna stay in contact with you, Mama Peach, and make sure that you know what's going
man.
on. And we appreciate you, and we thank you for being a part of this show.
We appreciate being a part
Thank
of you
you.
guys. And
Yeah.
I do want to say shout out to Lifetime and JD.
Oh yeah, Jermaine.
And the rest of the crew. If I left anybody out, I'm sorry. We had a great time. The editors, the producers, we make it happen. We number 3 in the country?
We the biggest.
Yeah.
Number 1 show. So
Yeah.
we
Oh,
did a good
okay.
job. I
Turn
enjoyed
up.
it. I had lots of fun.
There
And I
it
just
is.
want to tell them thank you. It was a blessing.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome.
All right, guys.
Thank
Thanks.
y'all
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you for joining
All
us.
right, bye you
All
guys.
right. We'll
bless.
see y'all next time.
Yeah.
I want a cake though.
Yeah. All right, y'all.
Send them cakes this way.
Yeah.
But wow, I'm so glad we just heard that.
Yeah,
I
that
was dope.
That gives me so much clearer of idea of how the editing works.
Right.
And
I tried to
how
told you.
things actually, because
I
I
was like,
really
she could not
feel
be
like
doing
how
all
they
that.
played.
Yeah.
Like wow, but that's crazy.
Well, I think
TV. It's TV.
a part. Well, you know it's TV, and you do enough of these shows, and like I said, I do a lot of reality shows here at AFTERBUZZ,
Right.
and when I get to talk to, the cast members on the show, they all say the same thing.
Right.
Whenever there's any, and not that all of it's bad, or wrong. Some of it is what's going
Right.
on, but a lot of it is clever editing, and that's typically what happens in these type of shows, and they want to build drama because drama sells.
No, most
Right.
definitely.
They want drama in the house. And with them, because as you know, she just mentioned, and you can tell too, that they hate on her because she is really good.
She's strong.
She's a strong competitor. And whenever you have a strong competitor, you're going to try to tear them down any way you can. If you can't beat them one way, you're going to try to beat them another way.
Most definitely.
Most definitely.
So,
yeah.
but let's get
Good
into
interview,
the
though.
actual episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great
Interview.
interview.
Yeah,
Great
yeah,
interview.
I appreciate that. Like I said, when I talked to her, I was like, "Oh yeah, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be good." So we kind of talked about the focus group, but JD took them to the focus group, so they can kind of, and it happened to be all children,
Right.
which was a surprise.
Which
but
is actually
it-
perfect because that's the
Demographic. That's the demographic they're
Right,
going for.
right.
And so they basically looked at an individual rapper and kind of looked at their style, listened to some of their music, and watched one of their videos. And so Miss Blotter was first, and the start with her was good. They said, "Oh, she can rap," but then when it got into her style, they were like, "She doesn't really look like a kid."
Right.
And they showed the little thing when she had somebody said the goth witch or something, the hip hop witch or something.
yeah.
She looked like a
purple hat.
Yeah, something like that.
We had talked about that the last
Yeah,
episode.
yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. And so then Lil Nico was next. Some of the girls thought he was cute.
Oh, yeah.
Said he could rap.
And like his bars too.
Yeah, exactly. His bars. But it was funny is what we saw. Because a lot of stuff happened, but what we saw, it was still like kind of his whole mantra.
Right.
Number 3, it was kind of middle of the road.
Yeah, still middle
wasn't
of the road.
stellar, but wasn't a lot of
Exactly.
like loss. Lil Poopy, They mentioned, which I was surprised. I didn't think this, but I guess with the video that he was trying to be older.
Right.
But
older
look at this content. I mean, he does have some kind of explicit content, especially for.
But what I thought was interesting was Papa Lewis said that's him.
That's him. But how was that him?
That's what I
wanted to get into. Was like we saw him, smacking the strippers,
And he opened up a wallet with a bunch of money.
Right.
If he's 12, how does he have all that money?
No, and he doesn't know. That's the thing. Like Papa Lewis is saying, that's him. It can't be him because he hasn't lived that life yet. I mean, he hasn't been there and done that yet. So I think it's an image. It's an image that he thinks Papa Lewis might think, or people around him might think, might be the image for Lil Poopy, like this cool little little dude acting like a man. You know what I mean? Like my godson, I always want to dress him like a little man. You know what I mean?
Right.
But in my head, I expect him to act like a little kid.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of the opposite for them. And once again, we heard, like we can't go back home if we don't win. You know what I mean? Multiple times. So I feel bad because it's almost like Lil Poopy, has to grow up into an adult a lot quicker than most of these kids.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But I mean, of course, too, I think one thing, and he could be alluding to, first of all, Poopy's style, which, his style in the video, yes, he can own that. He can own, the lyrics. Because, I didn't hear a lot of what he was, I still haven't heard that. I kind of want to hear that entire song of what he's saying.
Yeah, they haven't played a lot of the music yet.
Yeah, and I'm sure we can look it up on YouTube, but from what I heard, I didn't hear anything bad, like as far as like, oh, these are adult lyrics. All I saw and what they keep showing us is the smacking of the behind.
Right.
They showed the money out, and what he was doing, all of that type of situation. So I think if we saw the whole thing, I could probably grasp what Papa.
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
I've seen it.
I've seen some of it too.
It came out World Star, came out everywhere.
Oh, you saw it back when it happened, back when it was a national headline.
Back in the days.
Yeah, when it first came out.
And
so lyric content wise, it wasn't like he wasn't cussing, he wasn't doing any of that stuff. But granted, the lyrics didn't connect to his age, for sure. It did not connect to his age for sure.
And we see it didn't come across to his age group. They're like, oh well, that's not him. They didn't believe it.
Right.
But his look, they did believe.
So maybe that's what Papa Lewis is talking about. The look, maybe.
But then too, if we're thinking of the storyline here of where he comes from and he's trying to get his family out, it doesn't match up with the cars, with the money, with the Ferrari, and all that stuff, which is shown within the video
That's
too.
right? Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah. So then next we have Young Lyric, and at first it sounded like no one seemed to like her.
No.
Which I was shocked because I got a special place in my heart for Young Lyric.
Right.
So I was surprised, but then when it got to her style point, they did like her style.
Right.
They liked what she was rocking, and of course last was Supa Peach. Boy said like something from Super Mario.
The name, yeah.
Right, that was funny.
They liked her rhymes.
Yeah.
They said they would buy her a song, and they liked her album. So it's kind of three.
She won.
Yeah,
she
I
won
think
this.
she won.
Oh,
that
yeah,
for
sure.
sure.
Oh man,
Yeah,
I mean,
she killed it.
especially
Dominated
and dude, the little we talked about this when we were watching it, but the little kid,
Oh
that
my
seemed
God.
like a plant.
No.
First of all, I write down what he said. That was one thing he said. I was like,
what was that word he said? That wasn't.
I thought I was
like a start with a P or
I
something.
had it written
Yeah,
down.
I thought I was gonna write it down. I didn't write it down, but yeah, I was like, that is not in your regular vocabulary.
No.
Yeah.
That can't be. That can't.
said
I don't
some,
even say that word.
His
Yeah,
IMDb
yeah.
profile.
Yes.
His
No.
IMDb profile is probably more popular than ours.
Right.
I should look him up real
I'm
quick.
just like,
who
for
are
real?
you?
Like,
Right.
what? But he had a lot to say. Again, what we saw, they showed him a lot, in his content, and maybe it was because of the criticism he was given.
Right.
But I was
He was
surprised
criticizing a
because
lot.
he was going in.
Yeah.
But when it got down to Supa Peach, he was like, "Yo, I like her."
He sold out for Supa Peach. He was like,
he
yeah.
sold out. I'll buy the album. I'll be
I'm
like,
sold.
hey, there it is. So, hey, I mean, it is what it is.
So Supa Peach can turn even the worst of critics, is what I'm saying.
Right.
Right.
It sounds like, and
Because-
according to what they said, there was a lot of other good stuff that was
what
said.
they didn't show.
That what they didn't show. So there was a lot of good stuff that was said. It sounded like across the board.
Yeah.
So I didn't think there was going to be any problem with her winning when it came down to the end. What were you
Right.
saying?
My only gripe about this, and it might be just before TV, is because usually in focus groups they bring about like 4 or 5 groups to make sure that there's less error in the situation as it goes along, different personalities, whatever, so on and so forth. Here it was just one.
Right.
So for the rest of everyone else, like it was hard for them, I'm sure. You know what I mean? Because
Oh,
it was
I
like
see.
directly.
'Cause that's all they heard.
This is the end all be all because
Right.
it's the focus group.
Right.
But usually in the industry, wherever in entertainment, even consumer wise, there's always multiple groups. coming in to give the different opinions so that they can calculate what the median kind of rate is.
Right. And throw out the high, the low, and get that.
Exactly. Right there.
Sure.
So
right
just wanted to throw that out there for everybody who's wondering about that or
how that works.
And how that works. But yeah, I mean, Supa Peach clearly won.
Yeah. I mean, I think it speaks volumes on a number of reasons, because I think number one, it shows her fellow competitors where she stands with the vast audience.
Right.
Because they're competing amongst each other, and they think this person is well, I got this, or I got the style, or I got the lyrics, or whatever. But when you show 3 different elements of your brand. And then these are children who essentially would be the person,
that's
or
the money
people
group,
purchasing your music, and all of them like her, and everyone else is hit or miss. That kind of says a lot to everyone else. And I'm sure that was probably a lot of the hate that she was receiving from when it came down to the rankings. Because my thing is, like, if he's ranking and this is what was said, you got to know that you're not going to win this particular time. So what are you going to do? You just going to hate? Because that's all you can do. I mean, and they're looking at it at that level. So, I mean, that's all I'm saying. And I have to give the credit where it's due, because up to this point, like I said, he getting on those cylinders, and then she takes the #1 spot. So
definitely
going into the hit list, I didn't see any surprise with any of these numbers.
Nope. I called it.
Number 5 was Poopy, which I felt bad because Poopy, I like Poopy, and the fact that he was #1 previous month or previous week, excuse me, and it goes down to number 5. It's like it's like riding on. He was 5, then he was 1, then he was 5 again. So it's like you have to be consistent, because at the end of the day, I mean, again, we know this show goes on for 8 weeks, so there's challenges every week. You got to be consistently up there. And so for him to go from 5 to 1 to 5, it's like it's just not a good look.
It's not a good look at all.
It's not a good look at all. It's not a good look at all. Number 4 was Lyric.
Yeah.
Now this one I didn't agree with.
Okay.
I didn't agree. I thought
JJ?
I thought her dancing skills should have carried her past what the kids said about her a little bit further. I'm not saying it should be 1 or 2, but maybe 3. Because 4 to me, 4 and 5 is that's just below the grade. You know what I'm saying? When you're 4 and 5, you didn't do well.
Well, let's go to the dancer for a minute, because I skipped that. So the kids actually, the second part of this challenge was they did go to see a choreographer, Sean Bankhead out of Atlanta, who was a well-known choreographer in the area, and it sounded like it was Miss Pilato's dad said that he followed him, so he's well aware of who he was. He's worked with certain artists, and they go to see what their dancing is like. They got to learn a routine at this point, and you have everybody. And Lyric was the only one that said that she had dancing experience.
Right.
So
and she knew Sean Bankhead as well.
Right. Exactly. So going back to the hit list, her being 4, I think that reason why it was, I don't think it was because her dancing was on the bad side. I think JD wanted more from her. He kept saying, JD said, I'm a dancer. I know what it is. I started out dancing. So I think he was judging her because, first of all, she's from the South. So these are, I'm not saying they're Southern moves, but she's from the South. She is a dancer. They're in Atlanta. She should have shined. She should have killed everybody. And she didn't.
I think it came down to JD, just like he said, he held her to a whole nother expectation compared to, Poopy or Nico, whatever it was. And based on the footage that we saw, I think it made her look as if she wasn't doing justice.
It's crazy because, when I saw her dance, I saw the swag in her face. I know what she was trying to do. I know what she was trying to do, and I thought it came through okay. I thought it came through right, actually. So I was really surprised that JD was wanting her to do a little bit more, because there were clips. Okay, that editing though for the dance portion was hard as hell for the editor. I know, because it was clip fast, here.
Right.
But I saw Lyric's face each time, and she looks like she was killing it. That's that swag that comes from Houston. She's from Texas, right? That's that swag that they have out there in Texas when it comes to the dance community. And the reason why she knows Sean Bankhead is because Normani Corday from Fifth Harmony worked with him a lot. She had a viral video that came out. That's the way she dances too. That's the way the industry, a lot of people from the South or from Houston dance like that. So I'm so surprised that JD was just like, no, I wasn't feeling it, because I'm like, I thought she killed it. Like I'm back here like, I thought I liked it.
I think maybe he put more stock into the focus group, because clearly Nico wasn't all that great of a dancer to me, but he had a little bit of female attention in the focus group, and he ended up number 2 on the week.
But I think Nico was number 2 going back to the dancing, because, and he even shouted this out. He said, look, I know, you're not the dancer. He's like, but you were following the instructions. And I think that's what he was going. He was going by the effort,
right?
Which hurts, in my opinion, hurt Lyric, because if she is the dancer of the group, then if she put forth the same effort, let's say that Nico did, then she would have been better in the routine.
But I mean, did it look like she wasn't putting any effort?
Which that's what JD saw.
Because that's
exactly, because we obviously weren't there. JD wasn't there. But who are you to say this person is trying much more harder than this person based on how their moves are coming out? That's just one's opinion. I agree with JJ here, and I thought Lyric was not for, at least maybe she was actually number 3 on my list,
on your
there.
list.
So I don't know.
I mean, I'm with you as far as I'll say I agree that she's not 4. I'm just saying I think she is 4 because of this reason.
Okay.
And that's why I think, and because, like I said, he said it several times, because he is a dancer, I felt like he could give that critique. If he wasn't a dancer, he probably would have given her more marks, because he's like, oh, she's doing well.
Right.
But he's like, oh, you're not giving it. If you're a dancer, you should have done better.
Okay.
That's what I think.
He's got to believe in his expertise, and that's how it shook out.
Absolutely. So then going to Miss Mulatto, she was number 3, so she was right there in the middle. I mean, I agree with that. I mean, she didn't do well in the focus group as far as what we saw, and then dancing wise, I mean, to me, I think she was doing good from what I saw. She wasn't the best out of the bunch, but I think she was, she was better than worse. I'll put it like that. But she was number 3. Little Nico ended up being number 2, and Little Nico was the one that was having the issues. We found out that he actually has a rare intestinal disease.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that affected him. When they were doing the dancing, he had to take a break and kind of go outside, and that's when his mom was talking about what he was doing. And I don't know if that's something JD knew, and that's why he kind of put more on there, because like he has this disease, but he's still pushing past it.
It looks like that JD did know, because it looks like his assistant was like, I want to make sure that you weren't overexerting yourself. Try hard, but don't overexert yourself.
Okay.
So and I'm pretty sure with the whole medical condition stuff, it was written in the contract.
Ahead of time.
So I think he knew, and I think that's why. This is why I placed Nico at 2, was because I knew JD was looking at how how he didn't give up, and how he kept on. He was persistent and he persevered or whatnot.
Right.
And I think that's why he sat where he sat.
I agree, and I think that's what he was looking at. And of course, our guest, as we said before, was number 1.
Supa Peach.
Killing it though.
She was working it.
No words. You saw the swag.
Yeah.
You can see it
saw
on
the
face.
hair.
If we're talking about face,
saw
because we're talking
moves,
about Lyric's face,
Right.
like if you're talking
No
about
words.
giving face, it was Supa Peach, because she was putting it down like,
She served.
this is
She
what I
served.
do.
Yeah.
She was giving face. She was giving face. No, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly with her being number 1. With the 2 challenges that they had to overcome, she definitely was superior in both. So I definitely agree with that. And I can see, again, going back to, we talked about the rest of the people in the house, I can see how they could just hate on that, and her, and they even said themselves, Mom Peach, Supa Peach, they kind of kept to themselves.
Right.
So they didn't kind of mingle. And if you notice, when you look at kind of the parents talking, they're not really in that conversation. You don't see either Mama Peach or you don't see the sister in the conversation.
Yeah,
you
they're
just
not
see
mingling.
the other. Yeah, they're not mingling. You kind of see them off to themselves and kind of see the other parents talking. So if you you separate yourself, I can also see why that would be another reason why to hate on you.
But also, I think what makes it easier for them to hate is the fact that they don't win quietly. You know what I mean? Like they have a confidence. It's just like people hating on Cam Newton right now because he's going out, he's dabbing, he's doing his thing, having fun. But I can see the same thing in this situation with Supa Peach, is because her and her mom, they're not the type to just do the thing and that's it. They they have a confidence that comes across as a cockiness, and people just don't like that, especially when you're beating them.
Sure, right. It's like the Floyd Mayweather situation.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of people don't like him and he's super confident and very cocky.
Right.
He's very. No one would I don't think would disagree with me on that. But he wins.
He
and
wins.
he backs it up. He's undefeated. Yeah. So I mean, you have to look at it both ways. But yes, in this particular competition, and then these are kids and they got their parents. I mean, it's all of that. You know, it's for a record deal. It's easy to hate. So,
and that's why I asked her the question. I knew what her answer was going to be, but when I said, you know, who's your biggest competition, she said Peach. It's me. I'm my biggest competition. I love the answer.
Yeah, of course.
No, absolutely. And I think if you have that mentality, you're always going to be superior.
Yeah.
I mean, I think because it exudes that. If you always knowing you're competing against yourself and you're not worried about anybody else, you're your worst competition, then you're gonna get number one 50% of the time, and I'm sure that's not the last time we're gonna see her be number one.
Right. She needs to copyright that quote.
Yeah.
I always work like I'm losing.
Yeah.
That's a Nike quote right there.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a
Supa
t-shirt.
Peach.
I'm gonna get a t-shirt, and I'm gonna give half the proceeds to the Supa Peach organization, Super Nation. I'm gonna do that. So so I thought it was interesting. Before we close out, Miss Mulatto still thinking she's number one. I think that there's a feud between them two. I think if you want to like say, okay, who's really rivals? I really think it's them two. I think the other three they want to win, but I think they're kind of rivaling at this point, especially at this halfway point of the season. So it'll be interesting to see going forward how that manifests itself.
And I just think that competition between them two, if that is true, is absolutely great because one, iron always sharpens iron.
Sure.
So if I see you practicing over there, I'm gonna be like, oh man, let me go work out over here, and then bam, so work off each other.
I think that's what it is.
Absolutely great.
So so let's get into the infamous predictions.
Wait, quick, I did have a question that I wanted to ask you guys. During the episode, there was a question of if the managers would give up their talent in order for them to proceed further on, because there was a quick dispute between Papa Lewis and Nikki there, and so the question is, if you could bring your child to a certain level and you meet someone, JD maybe, that he can bring them further, would you step back and say, all right, go do your thing? Or if we saw like Shane, for example, he's got a close relationship with Mulatto, of course, but he feels like he knows what's best for her.
Right. Real quick, yes, I would.
Yes. I would step back.
Yeah.
Wait, if I was the manager?
Yeah.
Or
would you step back and let someone take over to take them to a better level, or would you still try to do it by yourself?
I would. Yeah,
Step back?
I would hope I would.
Yeah,
I think so.
I mean, it makes sense. It's for this. This is your child, and this is your artist.
Right.
You know, the more successful they are, you're still getting a cut. You know what I'm saying? And this is your family. These are all family. So
you should want the best for them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right.
Okay. Predictions. Let's do it.
AfterBuzz TV predictions.
All right. I'm gonna start with you since you just finished asking a question, Jimmy V. What is your prediction going forward?
Okay, so the preview for next episode consisted of
fights.
It looked like the Parringers were about to throw down. I did like how Papa Lewis wanted to confront Nikki and kind of keep it away from everybody else, but obviously she wanted no parts with him. So I think that is going to continue on.
Sure.
And I think we are going to see something explode there.
Okay. JJ, what you got?
Is it too early? Look, I'm gonna put my S up.
Trying to get the brownie points.
Is it too early to say that I think Supa Peach is gonna win this competition?
It's halfway through.
Halfway through.
Yeah.
Want to know why that's crazy? Because we asked him last week, where do you think who's gonna win? And he's like, it's only episode 3.
I said that about picking the weak link. I said it about picking the weak link. If you roll the tape back, it was about the weak link. Now, here we are a week further. We're a week further, and I think that because I see now, I've seen the show, and I've seen in person with my own eyes. I've talked to Supa Peach now at this point, and I feel like she has what it takes to be something that that JD can use and take pretty far, and she can appeal to that Caribbean market too. That's money out there too. So she she's got that brashness, that confidence, that that you really need in this industry. I think that it'll take you far. So I don't know. I feel like
a lot can change. Over
what you got?
7 days over here.
I think my top two are going to be between Miss Mulatto and Supa Peach. Still,
okay.
Like I said before, I'm still a little confused on which way it's going to go now. Just because before we talked to Peach, You know, I thought her Mama Peach, you know, and her sister Peach was gonna have a tough time letting her be molded.
Right.
But after talking to them, it looks like they're definitely willing to do so. Because if you see Shane talk, Miss Mulatto's dad, he always like Miss Mulatto's number one. But if there's anything that needs to be changed, he will change it. You've said it before. They're the boss. Let's do it. You know what I mean? So now that I know that they're both moldable, it's about to go on. It's about to go headstrong.
I agree with you in that, just to close it out. And I definitely think, you know, Supa Peach, by the numbers, is a front runner. I mean, you just look at the numbers. She's been won twice, first place twice. No one else has done that. So, sheer numbers, she's number one. I think Miss Mulatto, she has a lot going for her. So, I think it will kind of, you know, if we want to say separate from the pack. Yeah. I mean, we still have another half of the season to go. Oh, yeah. So, I think it's still early to say who's going to win. So, I can't say that. She's definitely a front runner. I think her and Miss Mulatto are front runners. But I think that you know, there's a lot to be said by the other contestants. You know, I still like Poopy. You know, I still like Poopy. I like what he does, what he brings to the table. I think Lyric is still a dark horse if she can get out of her own way. I think she needs to get out of her way. I think Little Nico is just going to be middle of the world the whole time. I mean, because I can't see him.
We haven't seen that yet.
We haven't seen him break out yet, but we still got a whole nother, half of the season.
4 episodes. Yeah, we
don't know. I know Poopy's popular. I would say if he doesn't win this competition, I think he has a great chance of going far.
Right. Oh, absolutely. Right. We're talking competition. Now, you talking about outside of competition? Oh, it's a whole different ball game. I
got hometown.
Ladies and gentlemen, that has been our show. We want to thank you for tuning in. I have been your host, Lem Gonsalves. Again, you can find me all day, every day at the Poet Saint. My boy Nino, where you at?
Once again, y'all, it's your boy Nino. You can catch me at Nino Llanera on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that good stuff. Check me out, y'all.
Yeah.
Hey, it's your boy Joshua Johnson. Find me and follow me on Twitter and Instagram at JJ the Talented.
It's your boy Jimmy V. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, as well as Facebook at Be Your Own Dad. Holler at us and continue the conversation. Shout out to everybody who left a comment on our last video. I did check them personally, and I do appreciate your love. Continue that in this video here as well.
And again, shout out to Supa Peach,
Supa
Peach, the whole Supa Nation. Supa Nation in the house. We love y'all. Till next week, we out.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.